Hey everybody, welcome to my new video. This is an intro to Hiragana, Katakana, and Kanji. So whether you're curious just about how to read things like signs, stuff like that, you're just like a hobbyist, or you really want to get into learning Japanese seriously, this video should be helpful for beginners, basically. So first of all, what is hiragana, what is katakana, and what is kanji? So the hiragana and the katakana are two sets of phonetic characters in Japanese. They basically represent the same sounds, and there's about 46 of each. So each symbol, represents a sound, sort of like the English alphabet. Hiragana is the ones that are mainly used for particles and senzas, writing for kids. Sometimes you'll see it on signs for restaurants and things. It's just a general basic writing system that I think kids actually start out with in Japan. So then katakana, on the other hand, is typically kind of a blockier, straighter line looking set of characters, and it's typically used for borrowed words, computer for computer, or the word pen for pen. So, borrowed names as well, you're going to see them written in katakana. Sometimes you'll see katakana written just on signs. It's kind of like whenever they feel like using katakana or hiragana, it just depends. But then there's kanji, which with kanji, each character basically represents a different meaning, and those characters were actually borrowed from China and then given Japanese readings. So there are thousands of kanji though, but to be able to read most things, you only need to know maybe 2,000 to 3,000 kanji, and you'll know plenty. So if you look at this picture on the screen right here, you'll see all types of characters, and you're probably, if you're a beginner, not sure what any of this is. You might think all of this is kanji or something. But actually, right here you're going to see these characters here are kanji. These characters right over here, these are kanji. So typically kanji are going to be the more complicated looking characters. Up here, this one is hiragana. Right over here, this is hiragana. These ones right here, these are katakana. So, you could learn hiragana and katakana within a few weeks if you really put your mind to it. Which in my following videos after this one, I'm going to show you the mnemonics of how to remember hiragana and katakana. And I'll also be making a video on, how I would suggest going about learning kanji so that it's manageable and so that it will stick. So, these right here on the screen, this is hiragana. So you got 46 characters. And, it might look overwhelming if you're a beginner, but honestly, within 2 weeks, you could probably memorize this if you just practiced it a little bit every day. So I'm going to show you some examples. Of hiragana. Right here, this is ramen. So this character right here, this is ra, R-A. This right here, this is just extending that vowel. This right here is me, and this right here is n, the letter N, basically, has a sound. So with hiragana and katakana, every sound, every syllable, it has to have, a vowel. It has to end with a vowel. Each character represents a consonant and then a vowel, basically. You've got ra, which is R-A. You've got me, which is M-E. So see, they end with vowels. The only one that is an exception is n, which is right here. This is the only character that does not have a vowel after it. So if you can remember that, it's going to help a little bit. Here you see a children's book, and this right here is all hiragana. Now this up here, you've got kanji and stuff in here, but this is, you know, what the kid's going to be reading right here, this part. This is saru, kani, and then banashi, which means story, I believe. So this saru means monkey, kani I believe means crab, and banashi I believe means story. So then right here, this is a sign, and it's written right here in hiragana. This is so that pretty much anyone in Japan could read this. Now down here you've got the kanji characters, which I believe might actually say the same thing as what this says. But, you know, a lot of times they just want signs to be legible for everybody. So even if you don't know kanji, you're going to see a lot of hiragana at different places so that, you know, anyone can read it, even if they're not super educated in kanji and stuff. So this is katakana. You can see these characters are a little more, you know, straight lines. Some of them look really similar, like this one for shi looks really similar to the one for tsu. But in my video on katakana, I'll even explain how to, you know, differentiate these, and it's actually quite simple. But yeah, you got 46 of these as well, I believe. And so these characters over here in the red, these are the same, but they just have these marks beside them. See, like ga right here is ka, but it just has these marks, so that kind of just changes that consonant sound to ga. And so there's only, you know, a few that have the marks, and it doesn't take long to learn that. But yeah, so this pretty much is going to show you most of the sounds available in Japanese. It's not that much. You know, the only other types of sounds I think are sometimes you'll have this ya, this you, and this yo. Sometimes you'll make them smaller and put them beside a character to get like something like, instead of ka and yo, if you put a small yo beside ka, you'd get kyo. So you're kind of just combining sounds in that way. But there's only a few of those. I'm not going to get into that in this video. But, you know, this is most of the sounds you're going to see in Japanese. It's manageable. And so here's an example of katakana you may have seen before, actually. Uniqlo, popular, you know, clothing store. So this one right here, this is yu, this is ni, this is ku, and this is ro. And they're kind of written in a stylized sort of way, but yeah, Uniqlo. You know, I guess it's a foreign word, so they're using katakana here. Here you've got another example of katakana. You know, McDonald's, that's a foreign borrowed word, so McDonald's. That's a hard word to say. Yeah, it's a mouthful. But yeah, that's what it says, you know, in katakana. This says ha, n, ba. See, that's drawing the vowel out. Ba, a, ga. And this is drawing the vowel out again. So han, ba, ga. You know, so if you just learn hiragana and katakana, you know, you're basically just reading phonetics. You can sound out what it says. So, you know, if you put your mind to this stuff within 3 weeks or so, you could probably read a lot of this stuff. So yeah, this is a store sign, and it says Sakamoto, I believe, in katakana right here. And then up here it just says, I think it says like Bridgestone Cycle in Japanese, but not even going to try to sound it out right now. But yeah, all katakana right here. I don't even know if this name's a borrowed name. Sakamoto, that sounds like a Japanese name, you know, so he probably just wanted to write it in katakana to make it, you know, stand out maybe. I don't know. But yeah. Another common name that's borrowed, Denny's. So see these marks right here? That's the marks I was talking about. They're going to change that sound. Normally this is te, but those marks right there make it de. Same down here. This is normally su, but this makes it zu when you put those marks. So de, ni, this is drawing that vowel sound out. And then zu, denizu, denizu. So now this right here is kanji. And these are not phonetic. Honestly, they sometimes have multiple readings, usually maybe 2 readings. You know, and they kind of look overwhelming, but the way to learn them is with primitive elements you combine to make bigger pictures. So then you can kind of basically build a story with those combined elements to help you remember what the kanji means. And so in my video on kanji, I'm going to sort of talk about this more. But yeah, you know, the best way to learn it is to not get overwhelmed with all the readings and everything in the beginning, but just to learn the meaning, kind of the basic keyword first. And honestly, I don't think people should try to start out by learning all, you know, 2200 essential kanji in the beginning. But you know, I'll talk more about that in the kanji video. But yeah, let's see here. You know, kanji, you know, is really, it's necessary if you want to live in Japan and be able to read a lot of stuff like signs, newspapers, books, that kind of stuff, subtitles in Japanese, whatever. You're going to see kanji everywhere. Right here in the train station, you've got right here, this is kanji. It probably says Shinkansen or something. I'm not sure, honestly. But yeah, you know, I haven't learned enough kanji yet. I'm still learning it. But yeah, you can see that it's everywhere. Up here, you've got a lot more katakana. You've got some hiragana over here, but still, you've got kanji right here. You've got kanji right here. You know, it's everywhere. If you want to read newspapers and articles, like I said, a lot of kanji here. But as you can see, it's mixed with hiragana and katakana. You know, to be able to really read Japanese, you need to learn all of it. Hiragana and katakana is the easier ones. Kanji takes a little bit more time, but it's totally doable. Here's another example of a sign. You've got hiragana, you've got kanji, no katakana in this one. And over here you can see the sign. You know, a lot of signs in Japan will have English as well. Not all of them, but as you can see here, you've got kanji, which you can guess probably means slow. Over here, this kanji probably means stop. And then these hiragana are used as, you know, additions to that kanji. The kanji is basically the base verb right there for stop. And then this mare, that is just sort of the conjugation on the end of that verb. So things like conjugations and stuff are going to be written in hiragana typically. And then the base word is written in kanji, because it's kind of a word, it's part of the word that can stand on its own, you know. So yeah, let's see. I feel like we should take a look at the vowels now, just so you understand how that works. It's really important to understand how the vowels sound in Japanese. I think it's way easier than how the vowels work in English. You've only got 5 vowel sounds. They never change in Japanese. Unlike in English, you know, where this A could sound like ah, or it could sound like a, or it could sound like ah. You know, it's a little more complicated in English. In Japan, it's just always it's ah, you know. So these are the hiragana characters that equal these just basic sounds without consonants before them. These are just the standalone vowel sounds in hiragana. So you've got ah, which is always pronounced ah. You've got e right here. It's always pronounced as just a straight e sound. So these are just the Roman characters you would use if you're writing it in like English. This is u. It's always pronounced as a straight u. So this is e, always pronounced e. O, always pronounced as straight o. So a, e, u, e, o. If you can just remember that, you're set for the basic pronunciation. You know, Korean, Chinese, definitely not as simple as this. You know, it's probably, in my opinion, the most simple language for pronunciation because of this. You know, not getting into pitch accent or anything. I mean, you can be understood if you just know the basic vowel pronunciations. I mean, in America, we kind of butcher words a lot for some reason. Like, you know, if you think of the word sake, which, you know, let me write this out real quick. Okay. I'm using my mouse, so it's not going to be pretty. You know, you see this word a lot, this Japanese word for sake. Most people in America are going to say sake, right? Totally not correct. Acceptable maybe, but not correct. So, you know, the A vowel sound they get correct, right? They always say saki when they say it. So that's correct. That A is always going to make that A sound. But the E, you know, it's going to make that E sound. So it should be sake, sake. And another one you're probably familiar with, actually, yeah, would be this. This is one that really gets butchered a lot. Is anime. That's how you usually hear it, right, in America. But it's, you know, first of all, guess. What do you think? How would you say this if you are going off these rules? So it's anime. The A is always A. This I here, that sound's always going to be E. Straight E right there. And then the E, of course, is always E. So A, ni, me. So you would use 3 characters to write this, 3 hiragana characters. Hold on for one sec. Just want to show you how I would write this. So, you know, I've got the character for A, and the character for ni, and the character for me. So as you can see, you know, it's like one sound, one syllable sound is going to have a character basically. So you've got A, ni, me, A, ni, me. And that's how hiragana works. You know, it's just phonetics. It's not that complicated. So in my future videos, I'm going to talk about, you know, how to remember them. And it's actually kind of fun, honestly. If you're at all interested in reading Japanese, it's pretty fun. So, you know, finally I want to look at just one example sentence in Japanese here. So, here's a typical sentence, which means this the volcano has erupted twice this year. So here you've got hiragana, and then you've got kanji, hiragana, kanji, kanji, and then hiragana for the conjugation of that verb. So I just wanted to mention these things right here above these kanji characters. You can see these hiragana symbols written. And that's what's called furigana, which is basically just hiragana characters written over top of kanji to show you how to phonetically read that kanji, you know, in case you don't know how to read that kanji. So that's something, you know, if you're wanting to learn just hiragana and katakana, but you're maybe not ready for kanji, you would still be able to read quite a bit of stuff if it has furigana. You know, it would help you out with reading. So I just wanted to show you that's a thing. But yeah, so, you know, my next few videos are going to go into detail about how you can go about learning these and memorizing them. So, you know, if you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe, and thanks for watching.